Hey, and War Eagle to everybody out there. You are now listening and watching C&T Talking Tigers with your one and only Courtney Chandler and my main man, Tony Milford. Hey, it's been one great week for college football, but it's been a beautiful week for the Auburn Tigers. So we got to start it off like always. War Eagle to all those Auburn fans out there.
Eagle, hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tony, man, it was a great weekend, and we going into a great week, man. How you feeling?
Man, feeling great. How are you? You know what I'm saying? It's always a good time when your team wins. So, hey, feeling good, was impressed with what I saw. So let's get, I ain't gonna start. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. But I'm feeling good.
Yeah. We feeling good. We gonna save all the good stuff for the show. But hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, CT Talking Tigers, and we are also officially now on Twitter as well. CNT Talking Tigers on Twitter as well. So make sure you follow us on both of those avenues for updates and also info about the show. But hey, let's jump into the show. We're gonna break down the first game of the season against the Akron Zips, which was last Saturday. Auburn handed a convincing win, 60-10 against the Zips, and they look incredible. But we're gonna just break it down quarter by quarter, and we're gonna tell you, what we saw on the field, and some of the amazing things that we just saw from this team. I mean, it was just an incredible game. And let me just say this for a minute of Auburn, because I've been hearing this when I walk around the streets and stuff. Many people, some of the Auburn fans saying, "Well, it was just Akron. They were, a team that was competitive." It might have just been Akron, but you got to look at how this team played against Akron and how they looked against it. So you got to look at the bigger picture. So don't just say it was just Akron. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. Tony, let's break down the first quarter of how this game started off. Started off real hot for the Tigers.
Oh man, well, as usual, per usual, it was an electric, loud atmosphere from the beginning. Everybody was there, everybody was happy, excited, and was grateful to be there, be in attendance. So, you know what I'm saying? It was 87,000 strong, and it sounded like it. It looked like it. It was fun to see that again. First, opening drive, Akron takes the ball. They won the toss. They received, which was good for us. I always like to put my defense out there first. You could tell the defense was maybe, maybe a little nervous, a little jittery, and maybe Akron was doing some things that quite wasn't expecting them to do at first, because they was having a little bit of success here and there. Them first little set of plays. I think they picked up a couple of first downs. And then after that second first down they picked up, it was kind of lights out after that. We shut them down real quick after they picked up, like I said, 2 early first downs. After that second one, we kind of locked in. We get the ball, boom, out the gate. We let you know what it is. Tank gets the first carry from the first play of the game. Ball goes to Tank, 4 yards there, boom, 4 yards there, boom, first down. So we see what this thing was gonna look like. So we come out the gate. Hit, boom. Tank bust out a 32-yard touchdown first score. Looked at open, holes were open. It was there. Nobody badly touched him. It was quick, boom, boom, bam. Let's get in there. And boom, we come back. We're up 6-0. We missed the freaking extra point. So, so one thing I did notice, Anders Carlson was consistent with putting that ball in the end zone and having them start on the 25-yard line, which is good for our defense to know that we're going to start, 25 or below. Because anytime they brought it out, we had good coverage, and we was catching them at the 20 or below. So I was impressed with special teams with the kickoff coverage. Once again, we come back with another drive. Tank confused. Bo hit a couple of targets here and there. That's so we score again. This time Bo throws a touchdown pass. It was a great first quarter, man. We were up 20-0, I do believe, at the end of the first quarter. Bo was 6 for 6 in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns. Tank had 65 yards rushing in the first quarter with a touchdown. He also caught a pass for 19 yards. So at the end of the first quarter, dominance was being established on both sides of the ball. Offensive line was opening up holes. Tank wasn't getting touched till he was 4, 5, 6 yards down the field. Bo had plenty of time. He was making the right reads. He was putting catchable balls out there, and the guys were not letting them hit the ground. So coming out of that first quarter, man, I was impressed. I like the way Bo looked poised in the pocket. Offensive line looked good. I was thoroughly impressed. I think I don't even think we had any. I think we had a penalty on the second touchdown, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think maybe that was the second quarter. I might be pulling it out, but I remember we having a penalty. It was on Austin Troxel. I can't remember if it was first or second quarter, but I did not agree with it. I didn't think it was much of a hold, but I think we turned around and scored again on the next play anyway, so it didn't matter. But yeah, first quarter, we come out established dominance. Boom, boom, boom. Bo looking good. I see why the coaches went with him. He came out the gate and showed why they went with Bo. I like what I saw in the first quarter. I love what I saw from Tank. Receivers caught the ball. The defense was lights out, and boom, we rolled it over into the second quarter. And what you got, Court?
Hey, second quarter, it kept going, kept rolling. Hey, and they kept that consistency. Hey, Bo came back fresh in the first quarter, and then second quarter. Hey, got a TD touchdown pass to Javaris Johnson for 34 yards. Perfect. I mean, just set back in the pocket, relax, comfortable. Boom, touchdown, back on the board. Hey, Akron gets the ball back. They only had 3 plays after in that series when they got the ball back. They only got 7 yards. So that's just a testament of the defense. Hey, they're stuffing them. Hey, confusing them, getting to the quarterback, stopping the running game, stopping the passing game, making sure you're not going nowhere. 7 yards in 3 plays, that's nothing. So, hey, Auburn got the ball back. As soon as they got the ball back, another big play on down the field. Bo, big play to Cedric Jackson. Probably, I think, that's the play that kind of, hey, started the spark. Hey, like, this is about to be over. It's about to get real ugly. Once again, Bo looks comfortable in the pocket, not, feeling like he has to make plays, but following through his reads, following through his progressions, gets Cedric Jackson for 42 yards. Then gets another pass to Kobe Hudson for a 28-yard touchdown. Also, another beautiful pass by Bo. Once again, looking relaxed in that pocket. The offensive line giving him time to get the ball now. People are blocking. People are reading their plays correctly. And it just looks like they have came out, this offense have come out, ready, hitting on all cylinders and are prepared. That's one thing that I, want to point out. They look very prepared in this game, just looking back at the game and then going back over and looking back at it again. They look very prepared. Bo looked very comfortable in the pocket. He didn't look like he had to go out and make plays, but he felt he was leading the offense. He controlled the tempo of the game, which I was very, very proud of. Akron gets the ball back. They only got 20 yards in 6 plays. Then Auburn comes back with, get the ball, put it in Tank's hands. We already know what that means. Auburn comes back, 9 plays, 45 yards. Then Tank comes in, scores a touchdown. Hey, they had a touchdown. This was very interesting to know. They had a touchdown on every drive but one in the first half. So that just shows you, just how consistent this offense was in the first half and how good they, were prepared for, and what this coaching staff is doing, making sure that they, are coming out prepared, but also they're not giving up drives and not bringing the putter out in the field. I thought that was, very, very important to point out. Another thing I wanted to point out, they did have 2 penalties in that quarter. In the total game, they only had 3 penalties. They had a couple false starts which is typical. When your first game, you probably the offensive line maybe got a little nervous or somebody jumped. So they did have 2 penalties in that quarter, but they ended the quarter, of course, with a 45-yard field goal. Of course, Anders Carson kicked the field goal, and Auburn, I mean, just looking impressive, in the first half. Bo looking good. Yeah, Tank coming back, strong as ever. Got Sean Shivers. And then what I thought that was incredible was the 3 receivers. You have Johnson, Hudson, and Jackson all making their claims known that they are here and they are here to stay. They ain't going nowhere. They made themselves they look like top SEC receivers, which we hadn't really seen, a lot of that at Auburn, as, Auburn having really known to have really great receivers. And on that game, they really did look like some really 3 great receivers on the field. And then you add Shivers and then you add Tank as well, catching a couple passes in the backfield. That's just even more. So they come, the first half, very dominant, very organized, very prepared. You couldn't have a better first half. I think the only thing that I was a little bit upset about was the missed extra point, and of course, the 2 penalties. But other than that, you couldn't write a better first half for Auburn.
Yeah, first half, second quarter was what I'm saying, was 17. We put up 17 in the second quarter, and once again, the most important thing was 0 points for Akron, which I thought was big. So coming out, we were looking good going into halftime. One thing I heard Brian Harsin say, which caught my ear, which really let me know, which I was already a big fan of Harsin anyway. I believed in everything that he said he did. I love the way we came out. You were right. Auburn looked prepared. Auburn moved with a focus and a determination and a purpose. They played with a purpose. Aggressive. Derek Hall and T.D. Moultrie, Marcus Harris, that front line, man, those boys playing like the hair was on fire.
Right.
Owen and Kobe were running sideline to sideline, making plays. The secondary Smoke was bringing heat. It looked good. It looked like what I thought it should look like. I've been praising all summer that I thought the defense was going to be spectacular, and in the first half, it did not let me down. I also said we would go as far as that offensive line would allow us to go. In the first half, they showed that they were a very capable unit. A unit they looked like a unit that's been playing together for a while. They looked like 5 guys that were experienced and that's played together. I saw a lot of bodies. A receiver getting in, you know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of bodies on that defensive line rotating, guys staying fresh. So 37-0 first half. I was impressed. We come out second half. Auburn gets the ball first, and we do what we do. We go right down the field. We score. Sean Shivers, 26-yard touchdown run, and we were off and running again. Akron gets the ball, does absolutely nothing again. They throw the ball over their own head. So we get a safety, 2 points there, get the ball back. TJ Finley, by this time, we get down the field. We're starting to, play a little more people. Man, we're playing more players. We're showing our depth. So Bo and Tank, they're out. TJ Finley's in. Sean Shivers in. Jarquez Hunter is in. Woo. Jarquez Hunter is in. And those guys take us down the field. TJ Finley gets a 1-yard touchdown. So now it's now it's like 53-0.
Yep.
We're really beating them down, man. We're really putting a foot on the neck and imposing our will. Demetrius Robinson had a 19-yard punt return, looked good. Number 0, he looked good, man. I saw some good blocking. I think it was on Sean Shivers' touchdown, the little swing pass where he dropped his head and bowled one in. Cam's little brother was in there. Kalen. He was in
Kalen.
Kalen was in there blocking. Capers, man, I've seen a lot of guys. I saw a lot of bodies in that game, you know what I'm saying, especially the third quarter on both sides of the ball. Zakevious Walker was making plays, number 3. Tony Fair, big number 90, looked like a big man eater, man. I saw a lot of Kobe Wooden, but 29 and 99 really stood out on defense. But like I said, when those other guys came in, the Kevius Walker, Lee Hunter, those guys, man, it was Kobe Wooden. Those guys made plays, man. It was great. It was Donovan Kaufman. I saw guys making plays, man. I saw Rodarius Knighton, that portal. Those guys, Marcus Harris, Tony Fair, Rodarius Knighton, those guys played ball. They showed up. I was very impressed. So we go into the fourth quarter. It's 53-0. We got our backups in, and we're still imposing our will.
Right.
They're playing their starters a little longer than we have, so they start to make some hay and get on the board. But it's pretty much all over. But the crime by the time we turn it over to you for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right. About the fourth quarter, it was the game was probably wrapped up in the first half, but by the fourth quarter, it was definitely over. Akron finally scores on the goal line. They got a 4-yard pass. Finally, I think at the beginning of the minutes of the fourth quarter, Auburn has a quick 3-and-out right after that. Then Akron has once again they have 13 plays, but only able to get a field goal. They kicked a 40-yard field goal, and then Auburn scores the scores after 5 plays with Jarquez Hunter. And, that was the final score of the game, which he put that 60 on the board for us. And Akron maybe got the ball at the final, have the final possession, but they only had 2 plays and they didn't go, very far. Jarquez Hunter, as you said, just a man among boys, looked like just on Saturday. At one point lost his shoe and kept running. Kept running to get and got the first down. So that just show you, that's the will and it's the power, behind him. And just looking at the stats of the game, total yards, Auburn put 612 total yards to Akron's 188 total yards. Pass. Yeah,
that's beautiful. To not even give up 200 yards in a game. Beautiful. Yes. That 600 yards is impressive. I don't know how the last time we've put up 600 yards of offense, but to put up that amount of yards and to give up that the small amount that we gave up, seeing how we kept scoring and we were putting up points and we were putting up yards and we we're giving them opportunities to get the ball back and we stayed consistent on defense. That's beautiful.
Very, very beautiful. And then just passing, 297 to their they did have 191 passing yards, but rushing they had -3 yards rushing. So that that defense line, that secondary was not letting them go nowhere. No.
In the words of my junior high coach Tim Estes, they couldn't even fall for a yard.
That's so true.
They couldn't even fall for a yard.
Right. They couldn't sneeze, do nothing for a yard. They couldn't pay their way to get a yard. Auburn had over 300 yards on the ground. I talked about penalties a little earlier. Auburn only had 3 penalties for 25 yards. Akron had 5 for 35 yards. The possession time was something. Auburn had 24 18 to Akron's 35-42. So that should tell you something right there. They had more minutes, but they couldn't get none across the board.
That should show you how impressive. That should show you how impressive your defense was. But they had the ball the majority of the game, and they still couldn't muster 200 yards. Couldn't formulate a positive yards, and still only scored 10 points, which I did say they would have. I did say it was.
You did. I think. I think I think we both kind of said somewhere around the same ballpark. They went
I know your score was 42-3. I had it 40-10. We both underestimated the offense. They dropped 60, but we both were all with the defense. So we did good with that, man. Like I said, one thing I did say, I don't know if I didn't think I said it. I alluded to it, but I didn't say it about Brian Hartson. I heard him say at halftime, as long as every possession ends in a kick, we'll be fine. That's football coach talk 101. I never heard Gus say that a day in my life. That's just the difference, the mentality, the mindset of the type of coach that we have now. You saw multiple formations. We were in the shotgun. We were under center. We were in one back. We were in one back set, 12 formation. We were in 21 formation. We had a fullback. We know Schenker. Schenker did a good job.
Right.
I saw tight ends in the game. We were in multiple sets. That's a tribute to Harsin and Bobo. Kobe Hudson and Javaris Johnson had big games. That's a tribute to Brian Harsin and his offense that leads to slot receivers being effective. Multiple guys caught passes. We had 2 100-yard rushes. Sean Shivers scored a touchdown. Bo scored. Bo was efficient as he will ever be. That's great.
Wow.
No matter what level you play on, it's little league, it's YMCA, it's middle school, JV, high school, junior college, Division II, Division III, NAIA, the CFL, the arena football, semi-pro, the NFL, hell, Madden. You go 20 for 22, that's a hell of a day.
Yeah.
I don't care, and that's every level of competition. You go 20 for 22 in any sport, in baseball, in basketball, in football. You go 20 for 22. Bo showed, yes, it was Akron, but we've played the likes of Akron before, and he didn't look like that then. The progression is for one game looks like it's there. The decision making for one game looked like it's there. That Bo took a big step from what we've seen the last 2 years, and I see why, with confidence, Bo Nix was named the starter at quarterback for Auburn. This is his junior year. He's been there a couple of years. He's finally getting the proper coaching he deserves, and it's not like the potential was there, and we might have found the people to unlock said potential, and we're gonna see what it looks like moving forward. But I was extremely pleased with the coach speak at halftime after the game. I listened to him in the press conference. Penalties were to a minimum. We executed. Guys had we played discipline. We played with swag. We played with fire. We played with intensity. We played Auburn football on both sides of the ball.
Right.
60-10. I couldn't ask for much more.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more, Tony. And this picking back on what you said about Harsin, another thing that really stood out to me, I looked at the post-game wrap-up he did, one of the post-game wrap-ups he did with one of the Auburn networks there in Auburn. And after the first half, they asked him, what was your mentality going into the second half? The one thing that really stood out to me, he was like, it's 0-0. It's a whole new game. It's the scoreboard don't matter. With 0-0 once again. Any other coach was like, hey, would have said something totally different. But he has that mindset of it's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He got that mindset of, I'm coming in. I'm not worried about what happened in the previous quarter. I'm tuning in on what's happening right now. 0-0. Let's go handle business. And that meant a lot for me as a fan. It had to mean a lot for Auburn fans to know that you have a coach that's not looking back, but he's looking forward and not looking too far ahead as well. I thought that was just, incredible, so kudos to Brian Harsin and the coaching staff, and he deserved the game ball.
Yeah, and that just shows his attention to detail, and a lot of coaches, I've heard plenty of good coaches always say, most important drives of the game are the opening opening of the second half. The second half, that opening drive on offense, you want to establish, you want to get points. But if you're on defense, you want to come out, you want to set the tone, you want to shut them down, and you want to get your offense back on the field. Our offense went out there and executed and went right down the field and scored. That is going to be, I'm supremely pleased with our coaching staff, which I was a big fan of these guys from the word go. That staff put together. I believed them from the jump. This is what I expected. This is what I thought it would look like. And for one game, everything looks like what I anticipated it to be. Now, next week, we might score 100. Who knows? You know, we might feel bad for them and score 85 or something. But we can't score no less than 60. I don't care what we need to put up enough. If we can put 60 on Akron, man, we need to down there have 60 at halftime on Alabama State.
Yeah, I agree. Let's
impose our will. Let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead and move forward to Alabama State. You know, they come in also with a win against Miles. Me and you talked about this before we started the show. They won an overtime win against Miles by a extra point, no less, 14-13.
Hard, Auburn, because I played football at Miles College. I love being an Auburn fan all my life. I ain't getting no scholarship to Auburn. I got a scholarship to Miles though.
Right.
I love my purple and golden bears. You know what I'm saying? So that hurt my heart. So I'm really need Auburn to put their foot off in Alabama State's.
Put their foot
right off in these little. We're gonna knock the sting out them Hornets.
They'll win the halftime show, but they ain't winning.
That'll be a blowout. You know, Alabama State 100, Auburn nothing at halftime.
That halftime show gonna be entertaining, but that football game, it's gonna get ugly. Man, this is. I mean, of course we know they ain't scored but 14 points. They gave up 13.
You needed overtime to do that.
Yes, overtime to do that. Gave up 204 yards on the ground, and they only gained 172 yards. Passing, they only had they got 197 yards to gain, and they only allowed 35 yards. This is gonna be ugly for Alabama State. Real ugly.
Smelled like a blowout to me.
He smelled like a blowout.
Hey, now we gave up 10 points. I don't believe them, but I don't believe them Hornets gonna score a single point. I don't see it. If you gave up 204-yard rushing to Miles College, my friend, my homeboy Freddie Parker, his son Jalen Crock, shout out to Jalen Knight. But anyway, but man, look, but if you had to get 14 points out of overtime against Division II Miles College in the SIAC, what you do with these 25th ranked Auburn Tigers?
Right.
Nothing. It would be a bloody massacre. This is Mike Tyson versus Pee Wee Herman. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be brutal. I expect the same form of discipline and consistency and just in a straightforward attack. If they gave up 200 yards a mile, Tank might have 200 at halftime by himself.
Him and Jacquez. Jacquez might have 150.
We might have 300-yard rushing next week. Tank get healed, and then Shivers get healed, and I believe Shivers gonna get 100 yards next week too. Woo. I think 100-yard rushes next week. We had 300-yard rushing as a team, but I think we're gonna have 3 individual 100-yard rushes against Alabama State. Man, we're gonna beat the devil out of them boys.
Right. And look, Bo might hang 350 to 400 on.
And at halftime score, we might have 60 at halftime next Saturday in Jordan Hell, boy. I know that game probably kicking off at 11 o'clock.
It's kicking off at 11 o'clock, SEC Network. Yeah.
Hey, SEC Network, I know y'all probably might not see this, but if anybody gets wind of this, show Alabama State at halftime, okay?
Please
don't be poo-pooing on the HBCUs and they halftime in the band.
Right.
But that is part of the process. That is part of the culture. That is just as much a part of the game as the touchdowns, the flags, and the whistles. When it comes to HBCU football, that is the football game and the halftime. I don't know if both people come for halftime or the football game, but they there for both of them. And it might be 50-50, but it could be 45 football, 55 band. You know what I'm saying? If you've been to HBCU, you know sometimes the band is the best part of the day. So to all networks showing HBCU football games, thanks to Deion Sanders shining the light on HBCU football and getting a lot of exposure out there. But please, don't forget about the bands.
Please show the bands. And anything we just want to see. We want to see the band play because we already know what's the result going to be on the
we already know with the mismatch of the game. If you're willing to show Auburn beat the snot out of Alabama State, at least show the band.
At least for Chris Doran and all them at the SEC network. Y'all can at least have something to talk about ASU. Y'all can at least play to show the bands. You're like, they had a real good band.
The other day, I see Alabama State on First Take. You know what I'm saying? They was giving some love. So at least, hey, show the bands, baby.
Show the band some love.
My mama be too proud. She'll proud Alabama State alone. She would be so happy to see her school because she'll probably be at the game knowing her. If not, she'll be watching on TV and she'll love to see the band. As would all people. And the band members got mamas and daddies too. So show some love to the band. That's just, because we already know what's going to happen with that game.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we here. We talking about it. It's on the schedule. But, hey, this is an off week for most people. They were arguing like an extra bye week. Probably some season ticket holders probably going to be giving their tickets away this week. They're going to skip their game, but that's okay. Auburn gonna do what they do. I think if 87,000 will be in there again, at least be 83.
Right.
I think a lot of people still gonna be there just to enjoy the opportunity to get out of the house, and you might have took it for granted before. And a lot of us couldn't even get into a game. So I'm expecting to see a lot of people. I know a lot of people from Montgomery, Alabama State alone. Alabama State gonna be in the building. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna show out. They're gonna be right there ready to tailgate. They're gonna be up 85, getting to it. Black and gold will be everywhere. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be an easy win for Auburn. I say 72-3. Not 72-0. That's what I think gonna happen that week. This week, Saturday. I think it's gonna be about a 72-0.
We on the same page. I was gonna say 70-3. I said they might get a field goal. They might. That's a big might.
But I'm pushing. I want to shut out this.
Yeah, I kind of want to shut out too. I kind of want to shut out too. But if they can't give them a shutout, at least hold them to a field goal. And they might not get that. But I do think they can hang 70.
You know what I'm saying, man? Shoot, I smell a shutout. I smell a shutout.
Woo! Smell one too.
Now, and with Akron, Akron had a lot of young guys, man. Their too deep was a lot of freshmen, red shirt, and so that and not to down, but that's a Akron and Alabama, and Akron is a step up in competition even for Alabama State.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If we can make Akron look like that, then they're a power, a group of 5 school. I'm gonna hate to see when we do the zero issue.
They at least have 70 on the board. We both at least agree on that. It's gonna be at least 70. If they put 60 on Akron, then they're gonna at least put 70 on ASU.
And what I noticed, man, it wasn't even a lot. It wasn't a lot of razzle dazzle. It wasn't. We lined up on defense, and we just were better than them. We just lined up, played ball. We went out there on offense. We just handed the ball off. It was some simple throws, but everybody was open, and we executed. We were just better than them. And that's why I think a beatdown of epic proportion will be taking place Saturday in Jordan.
Oh yeah. Well, hey man, that's all we have for today, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any final words? We done gave our prediction. We said at least 70 on the board. Any final words before we wrap up?
In the words of Russell, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. No, I was just playing. Man, I'm just glad to have football back. My Cowboys play Thursday, so hopefully, it'll be a good week for me. You know what I'm saying? NFL comes back.
Hey,
Auburn
man.
came back 1-0. We're gonna be 2-0. I'm kind of looking ahead to Penn State. I watched them last week against Wisconsin while I was at work. I paid very close attention to that game. Penn State they're pretty stout on defense, but I'm ready to see what they look like this weekend. Also to see, because that's a measuring stick for us. That's gonna be a big swing momentum game for us right here at the beginning of the season. It's gonna have people either gonna be like, same old Auburn if we lose, but we win that game on the road, Happy Valley, and a whiteout. That'll be a first statement win for Brian Harsin. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing like going on the road and getting wins. That was something that Gus was, you know what I'm saying, as much as Gus has done at Auburn, one thing he didn't do was win big time road games on a consistent manner. I don't think Gus ever won in Athens. I don't think Gus won in Baton Rouge. And
never won in Tuscaloosa.
Gus never won in Tuscaloosa. So there you go. And he only won 2 bowl games. So playing away from Jordan Hare against quality competition was not a strong suit by former staff. But this is going to be a statement game for Harsin and Auburn, Allen Green, everybody involved. This is going to be a moment where the program and the fans and everybody's going to be like, okay, we something now. So I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from Saturday.
I am too. And before we go, you said something unique. It's a whiteout game. And just looking at this past week, we had a whiteout game here in Auburn. And one thing that I've been kind of watching and kind of listening to, other things. But one thing that I think Harsin is doing is he might be preparing them ahead of time. But we don't, a lot of us don't even know it. Having a crowd full of white fans, with a whole stadium full of white, already getting their mind ready for it. But not necessarily looking so far ahead, but no, this is what y'all gonna have to deal with when y'all have to go to Happy Valley. So that right there just shows you how smart this man is. And of course, like you said, that game is gonna be, kind of almost the measuring stick, sink or swim, for both teams, so really looking forward to this game. But we right now focusing on ASU. We think we're going to put 70 on them. And then once we beat them, we'll look forward to that Penn State game. But, hey, thank y'all once again for watching C&T Talking Tigers. Hey, remember, you could, follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at C&T Talking Tigers. And make sure you subscribe to
Facebook.
Yes.
All that, man. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we'll take all the support. And hey, you know what I'm saying? Whether there's 1 or 1,001, we still gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep putting out content, and we're gonna keep doing what we love, and that's talk about sports and specifically it's Auburn football, man. So God bless y'all. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. If you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear your mask, but at least wash your hands. So stay protected. Protect yourself, families, protect others. I'm all for everybody staying up and healthy so we can continue to go to these games and have these games and enjoy college football in the fall like it's meant to be. Stadiums packed to the max, crowds going crazy, Auburn winning games.
Yes, sir. Well, that's all we have. Until then, War Eagle to all you Auburn fans out there. We'll see y'all next week. C&T Talking Tigers. We out.
Peace.